icons will point you to areas where you can discover noteworthy planetary traits. Build an outpost with a scan booster to increase your scanner's range. Well, we don't do that. I have built the scan booster before, and I thought it was not very helpful. Okay, here's our first specimen. Oh, looks like we got some resources here we need to scan. If I can, there we go. Oh, palladium, nice. Do I carry a cutter? I don't. I can't remember if I finished telling you this, but this character is, wow, look at that thing, holy moly. Can't let this distract me. Oh my goodness. Everything's happening. The suit is losing effectiveness and all of that. Well, these guys are herbivores, so I'm not so worried about that. Oh, that guy might be a little troublesome. What I am doing with this character is I am establishing a fully melee playthrough, and even more than melee, it is majority unarmed. Skittish for temperament, this Milliwhale filterer has. Well, I've never seen skittish before, but based on my short interaction with it, I would say that is probably accurate. Now, I know that we will need to explore some different planetary features in order to fully survey this, but I find that it's actually much easier to survey the locations than it is to survey the plants and the animals. So I like to go after the plants and animals first, just to make sure that, we've gotten them all. And let's see, this vector pack, these things are crazy looking. These things are nuts. Holy moly. Look at this, it's got such an interesting thing on its head. And this one's got such a fun little, saddle built in. That's awesome. That's cool. I've never seen either of those before, I think. Oops. Are these the things that are exploding? What is that? Oh, it's just a regular old gas vent. Well, there's our last Milliwhale filterer. And that's that biome complete for fauna. Now we still have some flora we need to get. And let's see if we can find some. Here's a bit. Okay, that's the ash sweeper. Now, there we go. The King's Head Bugloss. King's Foil. It's a weed. Classic Lord of the Rings reference there. Okay, we scanned the water. Now we are just looking for mercury as far as our elements go. Now, mercury is a metal, so I don't expect to see that in any gas vents. And in fact, there it is. It's right there. You can tell this is a newer playthrough for me because it is giving me all of these tooltips about my afflictions. So that's, oh goodness, what happened to these guys? Hurting tongue face geophage. Tongue face. Interesting. Oh, that's a leaning fire leaf. I didn't even know that was out here. Okay. Let's see, where is the final hive? Is it further down, or have I missed something? Oh, well, we're going into the canyon. There's no way around that. We have fallen. Okay. Let's see if there's not another. Occasionally I'll see these where they are stretched into three different so silly. Wait, what is that? They just wanted me to... Yeah, I thought I'd scan that again. Like, I thought I'd scan that for sure. Okay. Well, I'm looking for a final fauna, and it says this biome's complete, but we have not yet reached the ocean biome. So, that... Oh, wow. Look how far out that ship has landed. Even further than that must be the ocean. Okay. Well, there's not much to do since we've already surveyed everything. It looks like we're at least 1,000 meters from the ocean. Which is not where we want to be. That is hardly, prime beachfront property. But, we'll manage. We'll manage. And, sure, we'll make it there soon. I guess I can tell you a little bit about my day. So we're just kind of traveling along here. I started in a new position at work today. It's doing the same thing I was doing before, but using a different computer program to do it. So it seems like it would be pretty simple, but my head was just like reeling from that. That was my first day doing that and being in the training. So I learned a lot. I think I'll have to sleep to know for sure how much of it's stuck, because sleep is such an important part of memory. But yeah, wow, that's tall. I wonder what that building is. Some kind of industrial building. I don't know that I've seen that one before. We may go check that out. Looks like quite a ways till the ocean still. Unless it isn't. It's hard to tell at the nighttime. Well, my head was reeling today from the training that I'd gone through, and excuse me, we had already planned to have some friends over for dinner, just because we haven't seen them in a while, and I wasn't sure I would play a very good host there, but it turned out just fine, and it was really great to see them, because we hadn't gotten together in so long, so that was really nice. I had a good day today. It was challenging, but it was rewarding, and I got to share the day with friends, so that was overall, I think, a pretty good day for me. Alright, I hope you all have had a good day, too. This is an industrial rig. I think I have seen this period of interest. Oh no, there's civilians. One of them's gonna come ask me to do a job for them. I just can't. I can't do it. Wow, this is much further from the ocean than I thought. We're gonna do some fast traveling. Okay, let's keep heading north. My goodness, am I actually going the right direction? Yep, so it would seem I should be heading north, and then I guess slightly to the west. Northwest is where I'm headed. So this is telling me I'm taking environmental damage, and I can remove environmental damage in ships, outposts, and places you can relax and safely. Now, I recently learned that if you even have an outpost airlock, if you just stand in one of the interior doors, you do not even need to close the door. If you just stand there and, you're looking, you can still see outside. That is enough that you will be safe. And you'll begin to regenerate from that environmental effect. So, I didn't make those rules, but there's another bed right here. Alright, so it looks like it's 146. Let's go 646. That should get us decently close to sunrise, I would think. And no comments for us this time. That's fine. Okay, and we will head to the west. Take it back now, y'all. Wow, it just doesn't want to pull up the compass. Oh my gosh. Please, there we go. Okay. This way's west. Now let's see if I have any amp. If I do, I'm gonna take it. An item that can cure an affliction I have. What have I got? I've got like the bleeding and the other thing, alright, that'll do that. And then I need something. There we go. Perfect. And I do have some amber right here, so I'll go ahead and take that. And that will let us move faster, so yeehaw, let's go. We're headed out west to the wild, wild west, where we don't know what kind of creatures we'll encounter. Now, assumingly there'll be sea creatures. Wow, this is very beautiful, this planet hanging in the sky here. Just gorgeous. I really like that. Okay, yeah. Oh, there is the ocean right there. Okay, so second time's the charm as far as finding this place. And look at that, I can already see there is our critter. That is the shoaling finback scavenger. Now, we found one of them. We need to find two more. But we have confirmed, yes, they are just in the ocean biome. Oh goodness, it did not like me to be in that water. It says that water is too cold for you. You better find another place to swim. Oh, yeah. How long until it kills me? Oh no. Not that long. Well, luckily it autosaved when we left the ship, and we know the ocean isn't that far. So, we'll, oh goodness, we've got to do this aid thing again, so go ahead and take our amp and our heal paste and our injector, there we go. And that should be all of our afflictions cured, and then we'll head out west again. Oh, I just didn't take the amp, did I? I think I did. Yeah, is